Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. Welcome to Cockerel Doodle Doo, your morning Spurs show, which, funny enough, is going to be completely different to what I thought it was when we all went to bed. I thought today was going to be absolute carnage, but fair play Tottenham Hotspur, fair play Daniel Levy, fair play Paratici, fair play everyone at Tottenham Hotspur. Welcome, Dragusin. My paper, the Daily Drag-athon, is coming to an end at long last. But before we get into everything, 3 guests with me. We're going to make a sub at half time because someone's got to go to work. Priorities, James. Come on, man.
Sorry, guys. But at least I was so committed. I was desperate to sort of come on.
How are you, James?
I'm absolutely fantastic, mate.
Good. Mr. Jose, how are you, sir?
I'm fine. Very, very good. Yeah,
James
looking forward to the show.
James will be back. He was going at half time. He'll be back. Ryan, my brother, how are you?
Very tired. I've literally just woken up. I always set my alarm when I'm on Cockerel Doodle Doo for 8:40. Gives me enough time to grab what I have to grab, make a coffee, log on, and I've just woken up to chaos. Absolutely.
That's one way. That's one way of putting it. Before
chaos in a good way. Chaos in a good way for once. Normally it's chaos in an absolute horrendous way. But yeah, I'm sure we'll get into it. So
we will do. So before I say hello to everyone, let's just bring in the part-timer in. I can have some funny. I can get all this Vicario stuff back to you. Right. So first of all, most importantly, just want to say, and I know he's in the chat, or I think he's in the chat. Yeah, he is. Ray the Yid. We spoke yesterday, wishing his granddaughter well. His granddaughter is home, out of hospital, which is fantastic news, sir. Thank God. And I wish her a speedy road to recovery and resting at home. And on the other side of the spectrum, Kim's dad, Arthur, it's his birthday today. So happy birthday to King Arthur.
Happy birthday.
Let's just get a few hellos out the way. Cockney Geezer, I think you may have gone a bit. I think you may have just gone there how I planned to start the show, but
check Twitter.
Yeah, he left a message at 5:24 this morning, so that was over 3.5 hours ago.
Okay. So there we go. Shane, good morning to you. Tony, Sweden is in the house. Good morning to you. Kernro is in the house. Heath, Stephen, Ray the Yid, as we said. Sean Slater, Phil, P is in the building. I can't do a woo. It's too early in the morning. Ooh. Ray is in the house. Mr. Finland is in the house. Corey is in the house. Andrew, Hypo Noise, Heath, Active on Wembley, Kookaburra. Right, Carl Simpson, Michael is in the house. SP Rocket. We'll be talking a lot. Today's going to be very, very centric based on one person. Tom Colin Cross, as always. Yoris is in the house. Tibor, the Sheriff, Mark. Fran is in the house. Rich, good morning. Fran is in the house. Andrew, who else have we got to say hello to? Jonathan, Grant, Tibor, Mr. Ian Lubin, who will be the super sub when someone has to do something like go to work. Andrew Gregory, Sammy, Dave is in the house. Rodrigo Roman, Jonathan MZ is in the house. Who else we got? Zach,
thanks,
how are we, brother? Drula, good morning to you. Who else have we got? Benjamin Foster, Crossbowsy Gaming, John Ellis Hall, Peter, Chris in Toronto, good morning.
I think you need to start a new show and do this before the show.
Maybe I should. Maybe I should start 5 minutes earlier from now and just like Kuva, good morning to you, my brother, and Adam McFarlane. Right, okay, let's do this. I woke up last night. I went to bed furious, absolutely furious and seething. I'd gone on a Twitter space. I was very, very tempted to go live. I was going to go nuts. I thought, no, don't. Just go to bed. You've been streaming a lot. Just. Thank God I did. Woke up this morning, and literally, you know that part when you don't want to look at something. Like if you've got a hangover, you don't want to check your phone to see what texts you've sent. I was this morning was just don't have here you go buying, don't have here you go buying. Fair play.
Dyer to Bayern.
There was no here we go to Bayern, but there was a here you go Radu Dragusin to Tottenham Hotspur. Now, before I throw this out there, there's just one thing I am going to say. Whether you want to call this negative or you want to call this truth, whatever you want to call it. I pride myself, and I will include Ryan in this because Ryan and I have been there and done it all when it comes to protesting, when it comes to making ourselves a target, whatever it is, Ryan and I are standing right on the front line. And we have always been there to shout, scream when things are bad. Always, because all we want is the best for our football club. I've always said one of the things I do, love me or hate, is you will see I'm a man of my word. And I will give credit when credit is due. I've put a morning tweet out saying fair play, Levy. I get targeted for always being negative, whatever, when I want what's best for my club. I, when I'm wrong, will credit the right doings by Daniel Levy. There are certain sections of fan base on the other side that should things go wrong will never, ever, ever will find any excuse whatsoever not to blame what is there. So all I will say is people be real. When there's credit to give, we will give it. But when there is problems, don't make excuses. It's clear to see. But that's enough on the negativity because today is a very, very positive day and it's a well done for all at the club. James, I'm going to come to you all the time first because you've only got a half hour. Finally got our man. It was never in doubt, was it?
So first of all, I wanted to say about Radiant's daughter. One thing I'm so glad that sort of joined the channel and been part of the channel because the chat is amazing. To be honest, it's actually like credit to everybody in the chat. It's actually just a really nice place to be.
Yep.
And with the credit with Daniel Levy, like you're saying, I put it in our group chat this morning. I hope Ange never meets my wife because whatever he's saying, he has got everybody on strings. He's got the gift of the gab. I mean, we're going to give Levy credit and stuff. Okay, I agree with what you're saying. But for me, this should have been done so he was in before this week at least. So he had a week's training with the squad ready for Man United, especially with Ben Davies out injured. So I'm not taking the credit away from him because at the end of the day, we've got the deal done. But for me to give him credit, this needs to be done a bit earlier. When Ben Davies pulled up with that injury, I think that this should have been priority. And it just all stunk of a panic a little bit, you know, like Timo Werner being announced as Bayern came into the situation. I just feel I'm not going to give him credit yet because I think that there's more that he could have done.
Yep. And I will say the Hate Man Gaming, thank you very much indeed. I was just putting a comment in the chat yesterday. He made a comment on my We Are Tottenham TV video with Simeon. I was having major mic issues and echoing. And I did respond and say, I'll work on it. And he's just letting me know and having a little joke with me saying no more echo, co. So thank you. I listened to what you said. Thank you very much indeed, buddy. Ryan, I'm going to come to you second. Today's the day. You'll see him at United, hopefully. Radu Dragusin is a Tottenham Hotspur playing.
I still can't believe it. I will say first things first, respect to Daniel Levy. This is, I don't care what anyone will say. People will say, well, if it fails, it's Levy. If it succeeds, it's not Levy. Everything at this club, everything involving transfers, Levy will have some say in it because number one, that's just who he is. He loves to get involved. He can't stay out the limelight. And two, this is just a very, very similar deal, or just the way it came apart to the Pedro Porro deal last winter when it had been done.
Sorry, Ryan. Have you seen Rodrigo's comment?
Rodrigo?
Yeah. Sorry, mate. What
time?
9/11.
Is it 9/11?
Oh, 4/11. Never say that time. Never say
No,
that
not that one.
Which one?
It might have been the one further up about Spence's. Yeah, about Spence's.
Right, you carry on talking.
Loan with
I'll find it. You carry on
options,
talking. I'll find it.
loan with options, 10 million going in
It's
the other.
909.
Yeah.
409. Okay, yeah, go on.
Yeah, 409. Sorry, go on.
Come on, get with my time.
If that is the case, then Daniel Levy needs a lot of credit.
This was that one.
No, it's about Jed said Spence being a 10 million option. Yeah.
There you go.
Then that changes everything for me.
That was always going to be part of the deal. What changed the deal is the add-ons became a lot more achievable. So basically, there were no trophy-winning add-ons involved in the deal.
Yeah, I've got to keep my noise down. Listen,
I won't be apologising. And in the immortal words of Degeneration X, I got 2 words for you. No one disrespects my brother. Nobody antagonises my brother. Nobody says that when he was negative, when he wasn't being negative. So Jamie Weir can basically do that in no uncertain terms. It stank of the Porro deal situation because Levy had to step in and it for the Porro deal. But in this one, I believe he was always involved, but actually just changed it to get the deal done. He gave it a lot more affordable terms than negotiate. Look, this deal could have been done day 2, day 3 because he was number 1 target. Everyone talks about Tebow was always paper talk. Fabrizio never said we were in talks or concrete. It was just, he was on the list. Similar to how Bayern had Dragusin on the list, Napoli had Dragusin on the list. He was on the list. They decided to go for Dragusin. He was the number 1 target. We sent scouts out there pre-transfer window to have a look at him. We opened talks. We knew what the fee was. If we had put this fee in day 2, day 3, and then Bayern came in, quite happily, look, we would have been upset if he had chosen Bayern at the time, day 2, day 3, but it would have given us more time. We're more angry at the haggling that has caused this rather than Bayern coming in to try and steal our man. That's why we were upset and angry. If day 3 came along and there was no haggling involved and Bayern came in and put the bid in and he went to Bayern, all of us would have said, okay, we tried to get the deal done early. Who's option number 2? It would have been like disappointment, but then let's move on. Bit like how we're playing football at the moment. It's like if we lose a game, but we've enjoyed watching the game, we're like, okay, when's our next game? When's our next game? We're like up for it. We're moving in the right direction. We've got the deal done eventually over the line. Fingers crossed there's nothing wrong with his medical. But I said this to Rodrigo, to David, that it'll be so typical, before it's announced. I hope it doesn't this back. If he went to Bayern, he'd be the best centre-back in the world for the next 10 years. Joining Spurs, he's guaranteed to be the next Vlad Kirikez, isn't he?
No. Let's be serious. I mean, first of all, what I will say for people that were wondering about Jamie Weir. So Jamie Weir, that Class A Sky Sports News reporter who can't even get airtime on his own channel, decided to come for me and say addicted to moaning. And of all the tweets I've put, whether it be negative, if people see it or whatever, he picked one that was laced with positive. And he got a little bit of a backlash. I took a backlash, but Jamie Weir, I don't know what your game was, but thank you for retweeting one of my tweets.
Like and subscribe.
Yeah, I was so tempted to put it on there, but I didn't stick with that. Thank you, Mr. Box Office. Brian, you're not negative. Daniel Levy is doing this job. He doesn't deserve credit for doing his job. Like I said before, Levy wants to sack Ange, he'll sack Ange. Well, if he did that, Mr. Box Office, there would be hell. I might even have to say to my wife, guess what? I'm on a plane if he went and sacked Ange. But thankfully, we're not there yet. Jose, Dragusin's a Tottenham Hotspur player at long last.
Yeah, I think you came in on my stream last night, and I remain exactly like I was last night. At the end of the day, if the player wants to come, he comes. If he doesn't want to come, then we'll move on. We only want players at this club that want to come and play for Tottenham Hotspur. But what I will say is whatever Ange is brewing, whatever he drinks at home, he needs to share a bit of that with everybody because he is absolutely a magician. He talks to players and players want to come. It's not the first time. It's not the first deal. When we went for Maddison, we weren't the only team looking at Maddison. Had that conversation with Maddison. Maddison signed. He's had a conversation with Vicario. He signed. Van der Ven signed. He has conversations with these players. They come. There's no ups and maybes. They come. Yesterday, I wasn't too perturbed. Obviously, I'm happier today, but I was happy yesterday as well. I thought he would come. I think not only with the chat that he's had with Ange, but also the fact that some of the players that he's coming to play with, he already knows them, and I reckon them players would have been in his ear anyway, telling them, regardless of speaking to the gaffer, we're onto a good thing here. So I always thought that he was going to come anyway.
Yeah, I'm just going to quickly address a comment from George. You've been whining or stressing for no reason. This is what we do here on these channels. I wouldn't say whining, stressing 100 billion%, because we've all seen what has happened in the past. We talk and debate about it, as do other channels, as to everyone on social media. That's the whole thing. The other thing I'll say, when it says there's been no movement whatsoever, this is the line that drives me nuts. It drives me nuts, and I'll get you guys to have your say, because the whole idea of the transfer market is to strengthen your team so you can compete and rival the teams around you, or go for the cup. I don't care if Liverpool make a signing before us or how many they make. We needed to act fast. We have a huge injury issue. We had a huge centre-back issue. And I don't think teams sit there and go, oh, well, Aston Villa have made a move. We best get out the chair and start doing things. The whole idea is to strengthen your team. And the most important thing is our team has been completely and utterly reinforced. Do we still need more? Yes. Do I still think we need another defender? Yes. But right now, Dragusin is here, or on the plane, he will be a Spurs player. It's still in time for United. James, what are you most looking forward to seeing from him?
Yeah, there's a few. Obviously, with that comment, I just want to say that everybody is allowed to have their own opinion. If we all love Spurs, we're all going to have an opinion on something. Sharing your opinion isn't a bad thing. It's actually a good thing. It's good for your mental health, for one. I think if you've got issues or worrying about certain things, it's good to talk about it. And Spurs probably takes up, like when I met my wife, the first thing I said is Spurs first, you're second. Do you accept that? And she said, yeah. I was like, all right, you're the one. Just go. But I think it's good to sort of go down that route. But with
Thanks, Shank.
What you're saying is what next? I actually whatever Ange wants. I know that's so cliche, but I think that now he will be pushing for Conor Gallagher. I think that Pape Sarr, and I know I'll probably get stick here, I think he's a very good player, but I think he's better at work rate than he is technical, if that makes sense. So he's up and down everywhere. Like his fitness levels are next level. So when he's injured, I don't think we have anybody to replace him. I think we do have Lo Celsos, Bentancurs. I think we've got technically very good players, but I don't think we've got anybody with the engine that Sarr has. So that's why I think that Ange will focus on somebody like Conor Gallagher.
There we go. Jose, what are you expecting from Dragusin and what next?
Competition, which is what we wanted. We wanted competition and we wanted to reinforce the defence. I, like yourself, Brian, said yesterday and I maintained all the while through, I would prefer to have a second centre-back. We can't just have one. We need to have another one. I want to have 4 decent centre-backs to choose from if we're going to play this system. So I would have liked to see a second one. However, down the road, all along, the ITKs have been saying that we were looking for an attacker, we were looking for a centre-back, and we were looking for a number 8. So like James says, as well. We've got two of the top priorities that we were looking for. Although with the Werner deal, it's become a bonus because he can play across the front three and not stifled in either being wide or in the centre. So now basically, if Ange is going to get his wish list, it's getting in that number, the extra number 8 that he wanted. I think what's next for Tottenham is to try. Everyone's gone quiet because we're buying players, but I don't like the quietness. For me, it's about moving players out in January as well. I think that's got to be priority as well. So I'm hoping that the team have been working on transfers in. I'm hoping that the team's also be looking to trying to get some players out as well, because we are lopsided with the players that have been returned back from their loans. Although Spencer's already going out, which is a plus.
Sorry, with you're saying about transfers going out. If Reguilon comes back, does that mean we can't register the new centre back because we can't have any more foreign?
No, you can, because whatever you do, you can register 25 players. Whatever you do.
Yeah, but I thought the foreign limit was Reguilon coming. I may be wrong, but I think I saw yesterday.
James, if Dyer goes out, it doesn't matter.
Yeah,
because he'll just take over Dyer's place. So we've got that covered, and Hugo's gone anyway. So there's another foreigner.
Oh, okay. Yeah, sorry. Yeah.
There you go. Ryan.
Yes.
You looking forward to? Do you think? So first of all, do you reckon Dragusin starts against United or features?
Yes, he starts. He starts.
Okay, can I finish the question?
Yep.
Okay, so I want you to just not go. Yes.
But one thing that's got on my nerves recently is, Dragusin won't start. He's only going to get one training session at most. Blah blah blah. Van der Ven was thrown in after one training session for one reason. One, he was fully fit to go after training with Wolfsburg all summer and getting his match fitness up in friendlies over there. Number two, he fits the system. And number three, we had nobody better than him other than Romero. Okay, so move on 6 months. We're buying Dragusin because one, he fits the system. Two, he's better than what we've got. And three, he's match fit. He starts.
There we go. All right. Let's move on for the Daily Drag-athon. Because the Daily Drag-athon, I can't believe I'm going to bring that paper to an end. I was really liking using that name. Another person through the door yesterday. James, I'm going to come to you again. And James is not going to be sub now because he doesn't need to go to work. He has got his priorities in order.
Yeah.
Well done, James. That's there. I haven't really spoken to you probably or got into it. Werner, are you happy? Are you... Oh, it's just another... Where are you on this? And he will start against United, that's for sure.
So I've made my feelings known. I believe he's only come in because it's a free option and it's a no lose. You don't lose in loaning a player. If he's a success, then great. If he's not, you've lost nothing and you give him back. So I understand that part of it. my point of it was I don't want to keep signing these players that are going to be rotational players or sub players. So for me, when Son's back, he probably doesn't start. So I would have liked us to go out and buy a proper left winger. So, I mean, I'll back him. I will back him. I don't think he's that great. I don't think his finishing ability is what we need. I don't think his end product is what we need. I think we've got a lot of fast players that can't finish and don't have end product. So I'm happy to be wrong there. For 6 months, if he goes back and we don't sign him, then great. But I would like to be getting someone, if Son's going to go up front, I would like to be going out and getting a proper left winger that's going to be sort of first choice. Someone's going to contribute sort of 15, 20 goals a season from the wing.
Okay, well, I am going to say before I go to Jose, from the start, I'm all over this deal. I honestly think it's a masterstroke. I genuinely think it is an absolute stroke of genius from the club. Listen, there's no doubt it got done very quickly. And I said it, that if someone had said to me, name me 400 footballers, like that episode of Friends where they had to try and name 50 states. If you had said that to me with 400 football players, I can guarantee you I wouldn't have even thought of Timo Werner. That's how completely alienated and completely forgotten about him. And when it first came, I was like, what the... And then I took a step back. Then I've done videos with him. I think it is a stroke of genius. Jose, where are you with Timo Werner? And now that he's a Spurs player,
I'm looking forward to watching him play. As I said, he can play in the front three. Listen, he is technically a really good player. He's got speed, but his first touch is good as well. He's very different to Richarlison in that sense. Speed frightens defenders. Any defender you speak to will tell you speed frightens the hell out of defenders. They like the rough and tumble. So although Richarlison offers a lot of shithousery and that, and there's a battering ram, defenders quite actually like playing against battering rams, but they don't like playing against speed. And we're going to have speed aplenty, aren't we, with this? And it's the interchanging that they can all do. For me, I think, and as you guys have already said, it's a low-risk option. If he works out for us, then absolutely brilliant. And his fee is an absolutely superb fee to buy a player for. And he does, we'll see what happens, because then it can open doors. It opens doors for me at the moment in that there's competition for places. It opens doors in future outgoings. It means that if he does well and we take him on, then we can release other said players in the summer. So I think it's a win-win all round.
I think that's why we signed him, because I think they tried to shift Gil before it come out that he was committed to the club, so they kind of acted first for once.
Okay. Well, Joe, one thing I do want to quickly say is I saw a message, and I'm going to bring it up from Andreas. Just so you know, there is a fan show today. We are doing it at 8 p.m. UK time, which is 3 p.m. Eastern time. The link will go into the community section. So anyone who has taken a membership, you will be free to come on. The link will be there for you guys to come on, and you can talk anything Tottenham. We're going to bring it on one by one, kind of like post-match fan shows on We Are Tottenham TV. Everyone will come on for their allotted time, have their say. Could be about signings, could be about past, could be about Spurs memories, whatever you want to talk about. It's your show. To be able to come on, you need to be able to be a member to begin with. So hit the join button underneath where the subscribe button is if you do want to become a member. If not, you'll be able to take part in the show in the comments. That will be today. I am going to try and organise one at a similar time every other week for people on this side of the border, Andreas. So it will be weekly, but bi-weekly for time zones. Ryan, Timo Werner.
I think it's a very smart signing, very shrewd signing. I think he will work out well. Everyone talks about him being a Chelsea flop, but 44 goal contributions, 21 goals, 23 assists in 89 games. Goal contribution, 1 in every 2. Isn't particularly a bad record. He's definitely remembered for his misses, definitely.
Well, I think he had that 2 seasons. He had the worst conversion rate in the Premier League, wasn't it? Didn't he miss something like 23 clear cut? I think it was something like that.
Yeah,
that's my worry. I'll be honest with you. That's my worry as well.
Yeah, but then it's one of them. If it works out, it's a masterstroke. If it doesn't work out, you get sent back to Leipzig. I don't see it being a massive big deal. But I'd like to say that when it was his first time at Leipzig before he went to Chelsea, he was the most sought after attacking player in Europe, and he was.
Agreed. Yeah.
Having 100 goal contributions in 3 seasons, pretty much. His last season, I think he got 34 goals in 43 games. So he knows what about. But that system was played under Nagelsmann, which is a high press, attacking, possession-based football, which is very similar to what Ange Postecoglou plays. Could it be a link as to why his form dropped when he joins Tuchel or Lampard, where it's a little bit more pragmatic? Who knows? So we don't know. It may work out that he fits the system perfectly and he bangs goals. Remember, he's 27 years old. He's only 27, so he's coming into his prime now. So it's one of them things. If it works out, it's a brilliant bit of business, because in the summer we can purchase him for 15 million. But if we do purchase him, I beg the club, don't give him a 4 or 5 year deal, because I don't want another Adebayor situation where he's eating up wages and playing for a contract on loan. Give him a 2-year deal with the option of the third, and let's get Timo Werner if the loan deal works out. That's all I'll ask.
I'm hoping they've learned their lesson from Dombele and stuff about that. I think they've been stung. Well, I think they've been stung.
Yeah.
When it comes to Timo Werner, I've been over. I think literally, first of all, this is a guy that is coming here to get minutes to get into the German national squad for the Euros. Everyone's got to remember that. Every international.
And that's sorry, Brian. That is absolutely lethal because he knows if he flops, he's out. So exactly. I think that is the one thing for me that is like, yeah, I'm hoping.
And what you got to remember, people have got to remember as well. At Chelsea, his best football where he was on fire was with Nagelsmann at Leipzig when he played attacking football. He came to this country and has played under Frank Lampard and Tommy Tuchel, which is kind of like when we said our players playing under Conte and Mourinho. It's the exact opposite of what this guy needs. 56 game, 23 goal contributions is almost one in every 2 games. So in that football is not the greatest, but if someone said to you this season, Richarlison will play 56 games and get 23 goal contributions, I think a very, very, very large amount of Spurs fans would say, I'll take that all day long. All day long, not even a second thought. This man, if you've got Brennan Johnson running down one side, him down the other, then you add I'll tell you what, let's do it this way. How many, I'm going to come to you, Ryan, first. He's got half a season left. How many goals and assists do you reckon he'll get? Just roughly. Obviously, we're not going to be able to get bang on.
8 goals, 6 assists. I think if we can get close to 14 or 15 goal contributions, that'll be a very successful line, and I think we will take up the option.
Okay. Jose?
I'm going to say a minimum of 12. Minimum of 12.
Okay, so you went with 14, Ryan. I'm gonna go with my brother. I'm gonna stick with 14. James, what are you expecting?
I think he'll get more. I don't know. See, I'm arguing with my heart and my head. My head says less, but my heart says you guys are selling him to me fast. If he plays here, he could play here. So I'll give you 2. I actually think he'll get under 10, but I believe he has the potential to get closer to 20. So 20. I think he'll get near 10. I think he'll get 10, but I think he has the potential. Like what Ryan said, if he comes and he's RB Leipzig's Werner, then he'll get 20 quite comfortably. Because if you think about it, we've got a few easy games coming up, 3 or 4-0, a win here, a win there. He could be involved quite a few. So I'd say he could get close to 20 goal and assists, but my head says it'll be closer to 10.
Would you accept 10?
No, I think that's a flop if it's a 10. I don't think he should. Yeah, a massive flop. Because we're only halfway through the season. FA Cup. If we're pushing for the top 4, like they say, I want to be in a season that Arsenal are flopping. City haven't kicked off yet. Liverpool don't look like they could. I wanted us to make a big impact and a big statement in this window. Not to win it, but to say we are here. We're serious, you know. So 10 goals and assists. No, that's not good enough for me.
Okay. So right, let's have a look at this now. So we've spoken about 2 incomings. Now outgoings. Dyer, looks like this is happening.
Please.
Go on.
We've got an absolute belter of a song already. Big up Spurs song sheet. We've already got a belter of a chant ready for Radu Dragusin.
Go on then.
Sing it.
Okay. So it goes to push it. Okay. He came to Tottenham to wear the lily white, rejected by, and he thinks that if I can I swear?
No, but yeah, go on. You've done it now.
Yeah, we know
I didn't. I held it back.
Yeah,
go on.
Monitorize it, okay? Effing.
Yep.
He's our Romanian. He's built like a machine. His name is Radu Dragusin.
That's it. That's wicked.
You know what? It's about. Do you know what? I'm so happy that we've actually got a song where it's not just another Spurs chant of old. and we've just swapped names over. So that's coming. But now, let's, like we're saying, outgoings. James, I'm coming to you first again. It looks like, obviously, Dyer out the door. Who else is out for you? Not who you want. Who do you think?
Who do I think? I think Dyer goes. I think Hill goes. And I think a midfielder goes. And I think Skip's homegrown. So I believe that it will potentially push Højbjerg, because I think he'll get some money in for Højbjerg as well. So I think Dyer, Højbjerg, Gill, and Reguilon and that can't be sold, can he? Because it'd be 3 clubs he's played for.
No, you can.
He hasn't played for Spurs yet this season.
Yeah,
oh, okay. So then I believe that Reguilon is up for sale as well, because I think we saw those quotes about him wanting to give Sessegnon some time.
Yep. Okay. So Crossbones E-Gaming, there is a Big Vic song. But unfortunately, like I said, it's just taken over the Antonio song. So it's the same song, but obviously name changed. Jose, I want to talk about Højbjerg actually, because people have been mentioning Højbjerg. Now, I haven't been able to see it. Ryan, you may have seen it because you've been at games. From what I'm hearing, Højbjerg full time is just walking down the touchline, like off the pitch. It's sending the vibes that he wants out. We spoke about what we've got to remember. Like we just spoke about Werner wanting minutes and succeeding, so he's guaranteed to be on that plane. I think Pierre-Emile Højbjerg is guaranteed to be on that plane, no matter what, because of his dependability, because of what he is to Denmark. But he wants out, doesn't he? Jose?
Yeah. Højbjerg.
Yeah.
I think Højbjerg would like to. I think he realises that he doesn't. He's not the player that fits the system that Ange wants. And listen, he's a good professional. He is a good professional, Højbjerg, but he's realised that he's not got a future here playing under Ange. Ange is a straight talker. Ange has had a conversation. He's told players what he wants and what he doesn't want from him. And if he doesn't go now, he'll definitely go in the summer. But I totally agree. For Denmark, doesn't matter whether he plays or not, he will be in the Denmark squad. So, but I don't know whether it will happen this month, though. I really don't. I don't know whether the suitors are going to be there this month for him. I think the two that will happen, I think Hill possibly goes out, and so does Reguilon. I'm not even sure about Dyer. I know we want him to go, but I'm not even sure about Dyer because of everything that's gone on. Like we are as Tottenham fans, we want to see our players signed and wearing the shirt. Dyer, I'll only believe it when he's signed and wearing a shirt for another team.
There we go. Ryan, what is your thoughts on this? And I have to say, this rumour started circulating yesterday about Jordan Henderson. If Jordan Henderson ends up at this football club, I will not understand it one single bit, not in the slightest. Wait, what was it? Let me just go to Ryan. Oh, what's up, Janine? I can see Mumsy. Arm of Mumsy. You're right.
I'm fine. How's everybody?
Everybody is good. Go on. Good morning.
Good morning. Are you live?
Yeah.
Right.
Ryan,
Henderson, Spurs don't want him anywhere near the club. The old saying, he's made his bed, he can lay in it, by going over to Saudi and taking their money. I don't think that's a non-starter. The one we're looking at probably is, if we're going to go for a 6 in that role, would be Calvin Phillips on loan from Man City. I don't see much else. Højbjerg, I'm wondering whether, Bayern do need a 6. Could Bayern come in for a Højbjerg maybe? Because I think everyone's talking about him going over to Italy, Juventus and stuff like that. But we know how short of money they are. If Bayern are willing to drop 25, 30 million on a centre-back they don't really need, because he'd be fourth choice over there behind Mbakano, Kim Min-jae and De Ligt. Why not? They really do need a 6 over there, because they were trying to get Paulinho all summer. Why not? I think Højbjerg would be a very decent move for Bayern Munich.
Well, going back to Bayern?
Yeah, I think, he'd suit Bayern very well.
Okay, first of all, big up, Rob. I hope you're good. Yeah, this is picking up pace. There could be another youngster coming in from Blackburn.
Is he the one that's on loan at Middlesbrough?
Say again?
Is he the one that's on loan at Middlesbrough? Because we're also
No.
linked with the Middlesbrough guy.
Not that I know of. I don't
Guy
think
that
he's.
scored last night. We're linked with him as well.
Is it Hackney or something? Is it Hackney? Something?
He scored last
Yeah.
night.
Talking of Middlesbrough, let's have a little laugh at Agent Poch. This man.
Don't laugh at him. He's doing us a favour. Don't laugh at him. Praise the man.
Mate, listen, it's coming to the point, James, and again, I'll come to you first. Who's getting the sack first? Ten Hag.
I hope not. I hope not. Poch. He's doing a great job.
Mate,
Keep him in. He's a yid through and through. We're getting the sack. It's got to be. I think it will be Poch or Ten Hag. If we beat them the weekend, and it's quite a not comfortable scoreline, but comfortable game, if that makes sense. So if it's 1-0, but we dominate the ball and they don't have nothing, I think they will look at him and say, you know, what's the plan? What is the style? What are you trying to do? We spent a lot of money, so I would say those two. I did hear that apparently Roy Hodgson is looking to leave, and they're trying to get in Steve Cooper. Is it Steve Cooper?
Yeah, from Forest.
I think he's a great manager. I think he'll do well there.
There you go. Jose, what's your thoughts on Poch or Ten Hag getting the sack?
I think that they would have to go possibly lose if they lost 3 games on the spin. From now on, they could be in trouble. Otherwise, I think the days of sacking managers. Yeah, I'm not sure I totally agree with sacking managers. I think Man United will persist with Ten Hag, and I think Chelsea will persist with Poch, unless they do go through a real barren spell for the next 3 or 4 games, losing games. Then I think they might look at it. But if I was to say with the guy that's coming in to buy Man United, he's going to be at the game on Sunday against us.
Oh, Ratcliffe. Yeah,
he'll be there. He'll be there on Sunday. Apparently, from what the Man United fans are saying, he's held positive talks with Ten Hag. So for the time being, I think Ten Hag stays. Poch, well, if Chelsea carry on sacking managers, then no one will want a job there, will they? To be honest, it'll be the poison chalice. It'd be like the England manager's job.
Ryan, can I ask you for a favour?
Of course you can.
So when I consider we're away to United,
I can't really say no to you, can I?
Well, no, I'm more asking Ryan, not Brian. Sorry, mate.
Oh, okay.
Every game when we've been in these circumstances, we've been taking the mick out of. So, like Daniel Levy, we want you to stay. I think it's our turn for Eric Ten Hag. We want you to stay.
I think we're just going to nick Man City's chant, but with the ending, Tottenham boys are on the beers. Honestly, my honest opinion on this, they have to stick with Ten Hag, Man United especially, because I do think Ten Hag is going to do well. He just needs. I know it sounds silly, but especially with the new owner, taking over Radcliffe, he has to be given to the end of the season, then given exactly what he needs in the summer, and then if it still doesn't be working out by October, November, then you have every right to pull the trigger. With Pochettino, we've said this since he's joined, even before he's joined. They've spent £1 billion and haven't got someone to stick the ball in the net. It's just ridiculous. So they need a striker and then see where he's at, because you can't make a tell on Pochettino 6 months in.
But Pochettino, none of them have been these signings, though, have they? None of them were with Ten Hag.
Even Cole Palmer. Cole Palmer, he knew nothing about.
Yeah,
he was in the press conference, and he was like, he didn't know anything about it.
But with Ten Hag, the players that he's got are players that Ten Hag wanted.
Yeah,
so that's where the difference is for me. So
yeah, but he's also been without his starting centre backs pretty much all. Remember, he signed Martinez, who was a breath of fresh air last year. He was a very good centre back.
He was incredible. He was incredible. But I have to say, Chris from Toronto, thank you very much for the super chat, buddy. There's no comment there. If you put another comment in, I will see it and bring it up. Kudos, Man City do have a chant. It's actually a really good one. You can YouTube it where they're talking about, or Ryan can probably sing it. Let's put Ryan on the spot again.
cannot remember the chant now. It's been stuck in my head, and I've been singing it on the buses, and it's gone completely out of my head. It's
it's Old Trafford is falling down.
oh yeah, Old Trafford is
Eric
falling
Ten
down.
Hag's an effing clown. Played to stay in 10 more years. Manchester City are on the beers. When they sing it, I absolutely love that song. Right, so a few questions to go through. Actually, a couple of questions to go through. We'll go through. Just remember, everyone, I put the link in for the membership. If you do want to become a member, there's no obligation, obviously. It's not an obligation to buy or loan. You will become a member of the Toronto. I was about to say Toronto Spurs at the Scotland Yard. Tottenham on tour, and there is a fan show tonight, 8 p.m. UK time, where you guys can come and join me and Ben Kaufman and have your say. But let's go through. First of all, from Jason. Big up, Jason. I hope you're good, buddy. Jose, I'll come to you first.
No, there's not. I'm not concerned at all because the due diligence would have been done, and yeah, the due diligence would have been done. And if Ange has asked for this player because Ange sees football through his own eyes, then if it's good enough for Ange, then it's good enough for me. So I'm not concerned at all. No, I watched him play for the only time that I've watched him play. Just happened to be last week that I've got BT Sport and I just flicking over the channels. And Genoa were playing, I think it might have been Inter, and they drew 1-1, and Dragusin scored. And I watched that game, and to me, watching that game, he's got speed, he's comfortable with the ball, he tackles without going to the floor. So he's a bit like Van der Ven. He tackles without having to go on the floor, and he likes to stay on his feet because his pace and he times his challenge as well. From what I saw, okay, it's only a small sample, it was one game. But for what I saw in that one game, I wouldn't be too disturbed at all. And like I said, it's one that Ange would have wanted, and they would have done the due diligence on him.
Okay, James.
Wasn't Romero in the same situation? Wasn't he playing in the back three?
Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
Need I say more?
For that.
Yeah, and that.
More as well.
There we go. Ryan, you the same?
Yeah, no concerns. If you're good enough, you can play in any system. The boy's 21. I think that means he doesn't have to be registered yet, so he can come down as an under 21 player. No issues whatsoever about him playing in a back four. No issues whatsoever.
I would actually argue if your centre of a back three is probably better because he would have to turn left and right. So it's probably better for us that he's been playing in the centre, getting used to turning out left, turning out right.
There we go. So the next question, go to you first, Ryan. Who's next from Mr. Lee Harvey, Mr. Lawnmower, Mr. Puppet?
I generally think another centre back's next because I think you might find we will be doing a bit of business on deadline day because that's when panic stations happen. You don't know whether clubs will get injuries across Europe, and I think that's when the Højbjerg deal might gather pace, and then we might go back in for Conor Gallagher. I believe if we get rid of Dyer, we will be going straight to Fulham or Bournemouth and asking for either Tosin Adebayo or Lloyd Kelly, and that's my personal, honest opinion on it. I think another centre back will be next through the door.
Big up, Shamu. Big up, brother. I hope I haven't seen you for ages, my man. I hope you are well. Ryan, just remember, transfer deadline day, you're in Toronto, Canada, so you'll be getting up at 3:15 in the morning to do this show with me. I will be waking you up. So you and me sharing this camera and this microphone might be a thing of beauty or people's worst nightmares.
Lady and the Tramp.
Who's next for you?
I'm actually going to disagree. And I like what you said at the beginning of the show. I'm definitely a man of my word, and I judge things how I see things. So I will impact and say I don't agree with it, but then I'm happy to change my mind and say blah, blah, blah. So I've always said you need 4 good centre-backs. So Van der Ven, Romero, this new guy, and I'm sorry to say, but Ben Davies has to be number 4. He's done absolutely nothing wrong but stand up to the challenge and do everything that he's been asked to do. Whether that's a long-term future or not, I think it'd be really unfair to then bring in another one and make Ben Davies 5th choice unless they're going to push him over to left back. because Ben Davies for me has done nothing wrong.
Okay, and Jose, who's next for you?
Well, for me, next, I'm going to go totally the other way. And for me, it's outgoings. We've got to start getting some outgoings done. We can start doing deals and start putting feelers out, which I hope we've done already, about players that we might want to come in. But I think we need to really, the biggest problem we've had at the club for season in, season out is getting players out of the club. And I would like to see us make some movement on that. Even if it's one is better than nothing. Just get some players to move out of the club. So that's what's next for me. Okay.
I've got a feeling it could be Tosin. I really think he will end up at the club. I think this is a deadline day. So next.
So my question to you is, what happens with Ben Davies then? Do we have 5 centre backs?
Maybe, and he can be left back cover as well. I think.
Yeah, that's what I would say. Okay.
So listen, I don't want Ben Davies out of the club. Ben Davies doesn't.
What happens with Sessegnon and Reguilon?
Reggie's gone.
Reggie's gone. Bye.
James, bloody hell!
James, you just like Reggie. You just like Sessegnon. Never in on time.
Mate, Reguilon, I think is as good as gone. It's just, I think with him, I think the loan deals have been offered from what I'm hearing, but Spurs are holding out for a sale. That will materialize later in the window. And the final question from Crossbonesy Gaming: any word on the centre back from Sevilla? Listen, I think that now personally is as dead as they come. I can't see, unlike what Man City did, and Man City have all the money when they went mad with all Walker, Mendy, and they spent all that money on wing backs. We're not in that kind of. We're nowhere near that league. So for me, this deal is as dead as they come. What about you, Jose?
To me, I weren't a fan of this deal anyway, because I looked at this chap, and this chap was loaned by Rennes when he was playing Rennes last season. Went to Nottingham Forest, did not make 1 minute, did not play 1 minute, was loaned, given back in the last winter. It was returned back to Rennes. Rennes then released him to play the second half of the season on loan at Sevilla. Sevilla then signed him. For me, I had a big question mark on him. Why did he go to Forest and he never got given 1 minute's play? So for me, I think it was a non-starter anyway. And let Sevilla have him.
Yeah, so I've got Ray, you go as well.
Yeah, that deal was as good as dead. The rumoured release clause was about 65 million, although they would have accepted 45. Could you imagine Levy trying to do a 65 million pound deal for a centre back? How long that would take? He'd need another year to get that negotiated and done.
Yeah, I think that was set to either A, a smoke screen that we're setting, or B, the insurance policy should what we started this show and the great news that we've got our man have fallen through, because they would have had to react immediately because the nice would have been out, and not just from us. James, how are you feeling with the Bade deal? Dead in the water?
Yeah, it's dead. It's completely dead. I've got to say, we were saying about Levy. One good thing is I saw a tweet about the age of our defence and goalkeeper. I think Vicario, barring obviously Ben Davies, Vicario's the oldest one at 27. Right.
Yep,
that's well done. Like, you've got to give credit where credit's due. That's fantastic going forward.
We've been saying, you look at it, that back four that we had, the back four that everyone always will go back to in our recent history, Walker, Rose, Jan and Toby, they were the best defensive agents because they had some time together and they just got it. And with Dragusin now, and when we've got the back four back, it's one of the strongest in the Premier League. And just one final one, and this is a big question actually. First of all, I think we see him in the starting 11 on Sunday, like Ryan said, especially now that he's going to have about 10 days with the team. But there is a big influx of Romanians in England. And I can't think of, obviously, we know when Son comes over, or listen, when players go over to certain countries, if an Englishman comes here, I'll make sure I always follow them in the MLS and whatnot. I can't remember. Are there many Romanians in the Premier League right now?
No.
I don't think there are.
Probably there is. We just don't know.
No, there aren't. No, there aren't.
Obviously, when we have Popescu or there's certain players that I can't think for a. So maybe we are getting a huge shot in the arm with our fan base. But we will leave that there and go. Like I said, we do have the fan show. I want to say thank you to 363 people that have joined us. We will
Nice.
be back tomorrow with Cockerel Doodle Doo. Ian Lubin, who was going to be our sub today, is first in the chair. So there's definitely me and Ian tomorrow. 2 more guests will join us. But do remember, we have the fan show this evening at 8 p.m. UK time. Jose, where can people find you?
Over at Talk and Ball, we've got a show in an hour's time that is going to be hosted by Ash. We usually go on at 4 o'clock in the afternoon, but Ash is going live in an hour, so she will be presenting her first show as Talk and Ball rather than her White Chat Lane. And yeah, she goes live in an hour. So over at Talk and Ball, I've got my own channel, Talk Cockerel. We dual stream with Talk and Ball anyway. So
okay, let me just get the Talk and Ball link whilst I'm getting it. James, where can people find you, sir?
At work or Tottenham tour. So I'll be on Tottenham tour or Twitter, James Flower, and it's like 572222222 or something.
Yeah, your stupid numbers. You've got to get rid of your stupid numbers. It's very frustrating when I try to find you. There's the link for Talk and Ball, people. Please go and smash a like and subscribe to them. Mr. Isaacs, who will be in Toronto with me in precisely
16 days. 16 days.
Is it only 16? Jesus Christ.
2 weeks, 2 days.
Sleeping, because I won't be sleeping a lot with you.
We've got our own deadline day for me flying over there.
There you go. So apart from in Toronto in 16 days and in the Scotland Yard that weekend, where can people find you?
They can find me on Twitter, Ryan Levy out 14, as you know. I will also pop on here whenever I can when I've got work in the afternoon, which is like today. Luckily enough, I've managed to get myself a Manchester United away ticket, so you will see me there. And I will be back posting the match reviews. Hopefully they get uploaded. So hopefully we get to see a nice win and you won't get to see me being upset. So that's where you can find me, you know, doing the match reviews on the Cockerel Doodle Doo. You might see me pop on later on the fan show just to give my thinking of the day, past Spurs interactions, what I think of the future. So future of Spurs. So yeah, that's where you'll find me.
There you go. And thanks all for the super chat right at the end. 2 sign-ins. All my big up lads, Community Spurs. Damn right. So we will see you later on tonight on the fan show, the show where you will have your say. Thank you very much for joining us today. Like, comment, share, subscribe. And as always, Levy out. Talk.